Good afternoon and welcome to Copper Coins Coin Roll Hunt Reveal E395, a 1955S plastic tube roll. How's everybody doing today? We're going to draw the chip. It's chip number 11. Oop, I didn't put 19 back in the bucket. Wait for, hey, Chew, welcome. Wait for a couple of people to get in here and I will get this roll opened. How is everybody doing today? It's a beautiful day here in South Florida, 68 and sunny right now. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this open because I am going to have to use a knife, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah. Oh, the tape's falling off now. Excellent. That tape was really old. It just crumbled off. Otis, welcome. Look pretty good. I'll get a couple people. Ah, there we go. The numbers are flying up. So our first coin in the roll goes to Paul Hampton. We'll look at the first 10 reverses or so. Let me put this down a little bit. Not anything known on 55S as far as double die reverses. Get the sweet spot here. Coin number 2, Ant. Looks like some decent toning on some of these coins. Go out a little bit more. Some sort of depression in the die there. Could be a clash of some sort. Die chip in the wheats. Coin number 3, Wanda. Jim Fletcher, welcome. Alex, welcome to the show. I see that Chuck has scheduled a Coins and Coffee for later today. Not sure if I'm participating or not. I guess that depends on what the boss has for me to do. Next coin, Carl. A lot of RPMs for the date, not a lot as far as double dies. I think there's a couple double die versus both doubled eyelids. Got some feeder finger marks on this one. That's right, Otis, it is free. Lots of information to be had on the site, on the page, and it's all free. bit of a toner going on here. Ooh. Little die chip on the left wheat. I'm thinking this was an ender at one point. Coin number 6, DC. Oh, look at that. RPM number 1. Boom. It's got a fingerprint on it, but it's a good one. This is the one we look for. You can see it to the north. Right there. So let's hope we get a bunch of those. We were due for this. That's a good one. Let's hope for a bunch more. So DC gets the first RPM of the roll. MM001. Put this on his coin. Lots of packages have went out. I think the only big ones I got left are Stan's and Taco John's. And they will be going out tomorrow. Some of these coins got some deep red toning on them. These are right up Dan's alley here. That could be the first one of those we've found doing the 55S rolls. Coin number 8, Mark Thomas. I've seen this one with the die crack, and I think that's got a die chip. Well, I guess it is a little bit on the top of that wheat. Coin number 9 for Dan. And Dan gets, wow, this is the most I think that's 1mm5. And that is the strongest I've ever seen it. It is. That is the earliest I have ever seen this. And that makes me actually believe it is. I used to think it was die chips, but it kind of looks like the bottom of an S now. So Dan gets a 1mm5. And welcome to the show. Next coin, Joe McBride. Isn't that right? And welcome, Eric. Didn't see you come in here. We have found an RPM number 1. Some nice die gouges there. And an RPM 1mm5. Coin 11, Jim Fletcher. And that is another 5, but a later die state. Nice tone, too. Has beautiful toning on it. Amy Haggerty, hello from Florida. Hello back from Florida. Next coin, Sissy. And another one. Man, some of these coins got some deep toning on it. Dan would love these. Coin 13, Frostbite. Coin 14 for Stan. Want another RPM number 1. There's another 1mm5. We need to start hitting those number 1s like the 5. I knew this was, hey Trip, how are you? Was going to be a decent roll just by the tape that was on it. And there was a price on the tape that said $5.50. I am starting to work on the rolls above 729 now that Chuck has sent me. So all of you will have a package coming again here pretty quick once I get those done. I just mailed Trips and Wanda's this morning. Coin 17, Sireg. Coin 18, Taco John. Need to get something more good stuff. Ah, those black spots make the toning not so nice. Eric SFC, welcome to the show. Next coin, Mickey. That is the second time I have found an RPM 1 in a roll. And as a matter of fact, it's the one, I found 3 of them, and it's one of them that I actually have in my collection. There is a 1mm5. There's one in here that's got is really early in die state though. I've never seen one that early before. We found an RPM number 1. You want to see? It was coin number 6. There it is right here. Right there. And it went to DC. So hopefully there's more. Hopefully there's more. There's an RPM right there. Let's see which one it is. Let me look. You see it? Right on the inner loop and up right there. Let me look and see what we got here. Looks like 1mm9. It is. There's the marker. There's another one. Let me check the mid die state. See, I think that's when it starts getting a little pimple on the U. Nope, that's when it has this. There it is, right there. The little gouge there. This one's starting to develop a crack too. When you get to late die state, it has a little like dimple on the bottom of the L. So this is mid die state, 1mm9. I think that is Koneka RPM number 5. Coin 22 for Carl. Once you see them, there's another one. What one is this? Let me look. See if we got anything up here. Look for the typical markers. But what I'm seeing is a little bit back here and then right there. So let's see what we got. This is RPM 4. Let's see if we can find any markers. I see part of the little mark that's usually there. I don't see the rest of it though. Oh, there it is. Look at the reverse. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to hold it out. It looks like a different die state than what we have listed, even though we have 3 different die states already listed. Let me... Coin 23. I want to find an extra V. You're right in the neighborhood where you should have found some. I know Joe McBride found some in coins by where he lived. Coin 24. It's almost like that. That was like the doubled dies yesterday. We ended up getting 21 doubled dies out of the roll. Not a bad haul at all. Coin 25 for Sissy. I want to see another RPM number 1. You find one so early in the roll and you kind of assume that you're going to find another one. I'm not I don't think he has, Trip. I don't think he started on the reveals yet. But that's going to be good. I love searching 66 rolls. I don't search them enough. We got 2023s. All right, that looks to be 1mm9. It is 1mm9. All right, so that is 1mm9 for Stan. Coin 28, crispy. I should double check that. Let me look. It is. So a bunch of different RPMs. Well, 4 different RPMs. Oh, coin number 11. Who was 11? 11 was Jim Fletcher. You win the giveaway. Coin number 11. And you got an RPM. Let me write that down. 395, Jim. Congratulations, Jim. My wife has been cooking all day. She's canning vegetable broth. She freezes our vegetable scraps for like 3 months and then makes vegetable broth out of them. And the house smelled so good. And then she made rice and is making fried rice now. And the house smells amazing. Next coin, Taco John. It is. It is. When we lived in Michigan, we used to can a lot. In the summertime here, it just gets too darn hot to be canning in your house all day long. So we try to do as much as we can in the springtime. Not to mention we had a huge garden there and we would grow so many vegetables that we would literally have canned goods for months. I would grow all of our tomatoes, beans, carrots for the whole year. Greens, I would can kale and turnip greens and stuff like that. Make sauerkraut, can that. I don't think I'd have the energy to do it now. Dan, welcome. An RPM 1, an RPM 4, an RPM 1mm or 4 1mm 5, and 2 1mm9. So some good stuff. Tomato, you know, it won't grow here, but it's one called Dr. Dester. And it's an old beefsteak variety. Um, I think there's pictures on my Facebook of me holding one or weighing one that weighed 4 pounds or something like that. So they get big. I mean, they get as big as like a cantaloupe sometimes. They had such great flavor. They didn't yield a lot for the plant. They bred true, so if you didn't have 10 different kinds of tomatoes in your garden, you could harvest seeds from them. The place that had them, I don't know if they still had them, was called Baker Creek Seed Company. So, and they might just call it Dester, but it used to be Dr. Dester. And it's like an Amish variety from Pennsylvania. That was my favorite. Then I think that after that would be the Brandywines. I always was a Brandywine fan. Didn't matter red, black, or pink. All the Brandywines were pretty good. Cherokee was pretty good in my experience. Romas, I always did Romas in for a couple of years. I did Determinate San Marzano, so they all ripen at the same time, so I'd make a bunch of sauce or stuff out of them. That way you pick them all at one time, clean the garden out and all that, unlike the indeterminate ones where you're harvesting all year, making it 2 quarts at a time. Russian ox hearts are good. You are correct, Dan. They are good. And they're good, especially if you're making sauce. They're like a plum tomato, but they're large. There's a lot of great Russian varieties, actually. In that Baker Creek, they have a lot of the Russian varieties, too. The one thing I can tell you is growing tomatoes in Florida is a totally different animal than growing them up north or even in the Midwest or the central states. We grow our tomatoes here from September to the end of April. And so it's too late to start tomatoes here. They grow well in the summertime, but they explode because they get too much water. They get a lot of fungus and stuff from the humidity too. This is a 1mm10, I believe. One MM10. I am correct. I wish we would have found more number ones, though. I thought we were going to find a bunch of them. What this tells me is this roll was probably put together years back. Maybe even 1955. I mean, it could have been pulled out of, change. It is. I don't mind rolls like this because it happens a lot on 49S. And it happens a lot on 46D, but you can fill holes in your collection real easy going through one roll. Coin 41, Joe McBride. I mean, if you started collecting RPMs and got a 55 roll, you'd end up having 5 of them right away. And there's only, I think, 16, 17 listed. That was a Woody, a toned Woody. I think the 1MM5 you got has some nice toning on it. Some of these coins have toning without the spots on them, which really makes it nice. I mean, there's a lot of the red toning right in the middle. Coin 43, Jim Fletcher. Tomorrow, tomorrow I will be doing a 53S roll, and I might end up doing the 60D small date roll before I do the 53S roll. Have to see how my day rolls along. I've got some yard work I've got to do that I'm going to try to do between the time Frostbite does his broadcast and when I'm supposed to do mine. But I have to see how it works out. Yeah, I was worried that this roll was short a coin, but it is not. Coin 46 for Frostbite. I'll do a recap after we are done here. See who got what. Coin 47, Crispy. Yeah, it was interesting. This one's got, oh, this has got some of that cheese on it too. Ugh. There's a couple of really nice toned ones in here though that are really beautiful, like a magenta. Seems like the deeper in the roll we got, the more of like the spot. Well, that's interesting, except for the little freckles. It's got some bluish and pinks in it. Most of the red is in the center of the coin, on the high spots of the coin. Coin 49, Mickey. Mickey gets an RPM number 2. I think that's an RPM number 2. Let me look. Not 2. Let me go. Let's see, this Variety Vista here. This is a late die state, so it's something later than we have listed, I think. Let me look at 4. Four, Stage I. Let's see. Yep, I would say stage. It's further than that. It's actually stage K. It's between J and K. Let's look at the reverse. Look here. That's almost a BIE. See, that's got no depression, so it's between that. And so let's look at the head. No real die crack yet. Light die crack. In the reverse, has been replaced. So it would be probably considered between J and K. Nice, very late die state of 1mm4. Let's see if we've got a late die state listed in the Copper Coins listing. We do, but not that late of die state. So we might have to do, I have to ask Chuck what we should do. Might at least take pictures of it for the new site. Not sure how that's going to work, but last coin in the roll, Taco John. So a very good roll indeed. And I will do a recap on it. Right now, got it 1 RPM number 1. That went to DC. That was coin number 6. Then we have 2 1mm4s. And one goes to Carl, one goes to Mickey, and that's coin 22 and 49. Then we have 4 1mm5s, and they go to Stan, Sissy, Jim Fletcher, and Dan. And it's 9, 11, 12, and 14. Then we have 2 1mm9s, 21 and 27, and they go to Stan and to Ant. And then 1 MM10, we have 1, and it goes to Mark. And that is the roll. I want to thank everyone for joining. Am I doing coins and coffee later? I'm not sure. It depends what my wife has planned for me, because I didn't know anything about it until I just logged on here for now. So it all depends on that. Hope to see everybody. And I hope to, hopefully tomorrow I'll do 2 rolls. We'll see what she's got planned for me tomorrow first, though. But I want to thank everybody for joining, and we'll see everybody soon. We'll talk to y'all later.